North America. Air, water, and migratory species with no sense of borders move freely between the three countries that form the region. More than 425 million people live here. What happens in one place affects us all. This is the premise guiding the work of the North American Commission for Environmental Cooperation, or CEC, created in 1994 within the framework of the North American Free Trade Agreement, signed by Canada, Mexico, and the United States. The CEC has three components: a council composed of the federal environmental ministers from each of the three member states, a secretariat which provides administrative, technical, and operational support to the council, and a joint public advisory committee comprising 15 private citizens, 5 from each country, who, in addition to providing advice to the council members on their decisions, ensure the active involvement of private citizens and public transparency. Since its creation 15 years ago, the CEC has led efforts to protect our shared environment, becoming an ideal forum for developing the strategies and measures necessary to achieve the proper balance between sustainable trade and safeguarding our environment. One of the CEC's best-known achievements is Taking Stock, an annual report of pollutant releases and transfers from 35,000 industrial facilities across North America. The report is a valuable tool for tri-national cooperative analysis that anyone can consult online at no charge. The information from Taking Stock can now be viewed using interactive maps from Google Earth and Google Maps. By making this information available, the CEC contributes to citizens' right to know and to prevent havens for polluters from existing anywhere from the Suchiate River in Chiapas all the way up to Alaska. At the same time, and as a result of the CEC-initiated joint effort between the three countries in the region, harmful chemicals like mercury, lead, PCBs, and lindane are now being properly managed. The CEC has also helped to eliminate the use of substances like DDT altogether. The release of greenhouse gases and the issue of climate change are closely tied to buildings. Every year, the energy consumed by buildings and dwellings in North America release about 35% of the region's total emissions of the critical greenhouse gas carbon dioxide. That's why the CEC Secretariat has proposed that governments recognize the need to make some significant changes in the planning, design, development, and financing of environmentally friendly residential and commercial building construction. Not only to help alleviate the CO2 emissions problem, but also to become the essential driving force in the environmental, social, and economic betterment of our societies. In its role as catalyst for collaboration, the CEC has promoted alliances with the private sector to develop a comprehensive strategy to improve the environmental impacts of the supply chains and competitiveness of the automotive industry. The CEC has also helped improve our understanding of how freer trade in North America affects the environment. A series of symposia have provided a forum for experts, governments, and society to discuss the environmental impacts of energy, agriculture, financial investment, and economic growth, among other issues. To promote the conservation of biodiversity, the Commission has identified a range of challenges to overcome resulting from human activity in ecosystems and has developed North American conservation action plans with the participation of scientists, scholars, and environmental groups from the three countries to address threats to selected keystone species. Among these are plans for the conservation and protection of the vaquita, a species native to Mexico and in danger of extinction. Another conservation plan has been developed for the monarch butterfly, whose migratory route cuts across all three countries, and the protection of which demands tri-national cooperation. No less important is the work to develop tri-national strategies for coping with alien invasive species. In matters of environmental enforcement, the Commission assists the parties in expediting and facilitating legal cross-border movement of goods and services, while at the same time stopping illegal shipments of plants and animals protected by law, hazardous waste, and other materials that pose a threat to human health or the environment. These objectives are being addressed through the development of electronic systems for information exchange on hazardous wastes and non-compliant imports. an online training course on ozone-depleting substances, judicial seminars on exchanging and furthering best practices in environmental law enforcement, and environmental workshops for the North American public and trade corridor associations. In all its undertakings, a primary focus in the work of the Commission is to foster public participation. For this, in addition to meetings, workshops, and consultations organized by the Secretariat and the Joint Public Advisory Committee, the Commission has a unit dedicated to citizen concerns regarding the enforcement of environmental law. A successful example of participation was documented in 2008 in the public response to a submission presented to the CEC. The Submissions on Enforcement Matters Unit considers assertions from the public or non-governmental organizations that allege failure to enforce environmental laws by one of the parties. In this submission concerning Lake Chapala in the Mexican state of Jalisco, dozens of participants responded to a call to gather information. The information they gave will contribute to a factual record of the case. So far, the Submissions on Enforcement Matters Unit has generated 15 of these documents, creating an archive of international interest rarely seen in other parts of the world regarding the challenges of enforcing the law within the framework of a trade agreement. Today, the Commission for Environmental Cooperation is a firmly established bridge to further understanding and collaboration between the citizens, industries, and governments of the three nations of North America in balancing the demands of trade with a safeguarded environment. We share a common environment. Let us also share the responsibility to keep our home, North America, healthy. Because what happens in one place affects us all. North American Commission for Environmental Cooperation. 3 countries, 1 environment.